Hello everyone, welcome back for another physical media pickups video. Went to a sale this morning and picked up a bunch of stuff, starting with this Warner Archive of Yogi's First Christmas. And this is kind of an odd sale because we have had a long-standing independent video game store that became like a chain around my area. And they have been expanding over the years, and they are opening up a really big new store in what used to be a small sports center, kind of like a indoor volleyball and that sort of thing. And they've changed over the years, where we used to go to them a lot because they were great for both reasonably priced video games, more collectible stuff, and they were also probably the best place in the area for movies, especially when they would have sales. We used to go all the time. Haven't been there really much in the past 5 or 6 years though, as they have completely gotten rid of all of the movies at the store, and they've moved away from most of the more common titles on older consoles. Now, if you want anything that's a cheap common title, it's really going to be something very, very modern. The older stuff is going to be all really high-end collectibles, and they moved into a lot more of the statues and the Funko Pops and all that kind of stuff. But while they're opening this new location, before they do the grand opening, they're having what's like a warehouse sale where they're unleashing a ton of stuff that they have. They also have an eBay store, all kinds of back stock, including a lot of the kind of things they used to have. So I went to a big sale this morning on the opening day for this thing and grabbed a bunch of stuff that I was not expecting. I was just kind of going for fun, maybe find one or two things, could be interesting just to check out. Didn't expect to find a nice little box worth of stuff, especially anything, for the store or whatever, but they were selling things that, again, the stores no longer carry, so just kind of getting rid of it, and most of the DVDs and things like that were a buck a piece. So ended up finding a lot more than I was expecting, a lot of good classic movies and TV show stuff. So just a couple things for myself, and then a lot of great stuff for the store, which is not something I was expecting at all, to find anything of that type, starting with this Warner Archive of Yogi's First Christmas, and then both volumes 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure there's only 2, of the Alice Faye Marquee Musical Collection. So 2 DVD box sets for that. And again, what was great was that everything was just sort of a one blanket price. So it was like $1 or $2 for some of the bigger box sets, and that's what really made it worth finding some stuff. We have Adam 12, Season 1, part of the Avengers series, the 1967, this is set 4 with Diana Rigg, the original British TV cult classic, the Spy series. Season 1 of Batgirl, classic 60s series, the Shout Factory release of that. Season 1, the complete first season from 1984 of the Transformers. First season of Flipper. Some John Wayne from John Wayne collection that were not westerns. Usually the westerns I don't bother to pick up unless they're like 5 cents from the bin, just because they don't sell very well anymore, John Wayne. But a lot of his non-real traditional, like we would think of as cowboy movies, that stuff for John Wayne people still look out for. So we have Tycoon, Reunion in France, Without Reservations, Big Jim McLean, and Wild Wayne and Wonderful All the Way in Trouble Along the Way. And they're all from the same collection too, so those are worth grabbing. Then we have Return of the Living Dead 3. I just thought that was a cool cover. Season 1 of Here's Lucy. The Adventures of Captain Marvel, 12 episodes. Yes, Captain Marvel, not the modern one we think of today. Wife vs. Secretary. This is a really good movie. I have this one with Clark Gable, Jean Harlow, and Myrna Loy, so an all-star cast. That's a really funny movie. And then we have from the Screen Legends collection, the Rock Hudson franchise collection. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Rock Hudson movies. Pinup Girl from the Marquee Musicals collection. The Women. The FBI Story. This one is actually going to be for me. That's one that I found for myself with James Stewart. This is fantastic, and this is a harder to find copy because it is a press disc. It's much more common to find up on top here, the Warner Archive label, which they do a really good job with their DVDRs. Are much better quality than, say, what I could make at home, but still, finding this copy, it's fantastic. That's a movie that I have not seen in many, many years. So definitely want to give that a rewatch. Then from the Cinema Classics collection, we have Mae West and Cary Grant in She Done Him Wrong, Doris Day and David Niven in Please Don't Eat the Daisies, some classic Underdog, Never Fear, Underdog is Here, Different Strokes, sealed copy of the first season, and then seasons 1 and 2 of Family Affair. So those were a bunch. There was a ton there as well. Stuff that were really, even at that price, wasn't worth grabbing unless it was for me. But for $1 or $2 a piece, most of them were $1. Fantastic to find. And then I went through, they had all kinds of the collectibles, statues and figures, all that expensive stuff. But they also had a bunch of other stuff that in this section looked kind of like almost like a garage sale in the back of this big room. And I found 2 really cool action figure finds. They were only $5 a piece, so I was like, okay, that's really awesome, including a sealed Star Trek figure. I'll be doing an unboxing of this one on the Star Trek channel. It's really cool Spock from City on the Edge of Forever. Completely sealed from the Warp Factor 5 series. That is awesome. I couldn't believe that. And this one is really cool as well. It's a little bit bigger here. This sealed Velasca from Xena. Great early villain in Xena. One I really, really like. I love everything with the Amazons. Ones with the mask and everything. The Ambrosia. Really, really cool find. So it was a very unusual morning. Didn't expect to leave with more than like 1 or 2 random things. So it was a very nice surprise and a great way to start the day. Love to see if you have any finds yourself recently, thrift store finds or whatever, or just stuff you've picked up and you're enjoying, and hope you're having fun watching or playing or reading, whatever you're doing this weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.